Holly, pop culture moments of the week.
Well, I wanted to talk about our darling Britney Spears, even though she's so much older than me, but I still feel, as I think the internet does, the internet feels parental about Britney Spears because her own parent is a rubbish man. So anyway, I watched Framing Britney Spears, which
How did you watch it?
YouTube.
Is that on YouTube?
Yeah, it's on Britney's YouTube channel.
I did not know this. Right, okay, this is new knowledge to me.
Yeah, I was quite surprised because I was like expecting it to be behind a paywall, and I would be like,
yeah, I did.
But no, it's on YouTube.
Okay.
It's an hour and a bit. Mm-hmm. Definitely worth watching all of it because they really look at her the creepy things that men would just say to her when she was like 11. Yeah. It was always about her boyfriend, her virginity, her body, and they would just say these things to her, and she looked so visibly uncomfortable for a second, but then she just directs it again, and it's horrible that she had to go through that, but she knew what to do. And they talked to some of the tabloid people who ran the papers and the paparazzos that followed her, including the guy that where she's with the umbrella.
Hit him with the umbrella, yeah.
Yeah, him. They were talking to him, and he was like, she never explicitly told us to leave her alone. And then the interviewer's like, here's the clip of her was this not
my God.
And then he was like, no, but she didn't say forever. She said, like, leave me alone today.
She never went, leave me alone, but just for today. Like, tomorrow I'll probably be in a different mood that will be okay with the exploitation of my life. But right now, I'm just not in the mood for it. No.
To the point where they were saying she had 2 babies quite close back to back, and in the run-up to 2007, and she probably had postpartum depression that wasn't treated.
Yeah.
And they just were rabid tabloids after her, calling her a bad mum for driving with her baby on her knee. Everything. Like, no wonder she had a mental break, because who wouldn't under those situations? But they blamed her. They always blamed her. And the other thing to come out of it, that Justin Timberlake has now finally apologized to Britney and Janet Jackson. As we have previously discussed, this man is a literal agent of misogyny. He has benefited of 2 women's careers that were destroyed because of an action he took in regards to them.
Big time.
What the hell? And he's what, like 45 now or something, and he's finally going, I realise that I have benefited from this, and it's harder for women, and he's had his millions, he's got his money.
I have the full apology if you want me to read it, just for everyone to hear. So I think he posted this on Instagram. It was a typical, like, written. It wasn't written on the notes app, but it was a written message, which I always find weird.
I don't understand that. At least get on Canva and do an infograph.
Okay, so I've seen the messages, tags, comments, and concerns, and I want to respond. I'm deeply sorry for the times in my life when my actions contributed to the problem, where I spoke out of turn or did not speak up for what was right. I understand that I fell short in these moments and in many others, and benefited from a system that condones misogyny and racism. I specifically want to apologize to Britney Spears and Janet Jackson, both individually, because I care for and respect these women, and I know I failed. I also feel compelled to respond in part because everyone involved deserved better, and most importantly, because this is a larger conversation that I wholeheartedly want to be part of and grow from, ... for some reason. Ew. The industry is flawed. It sets men, especially white men, up for success. It's designed this way. As a man in a privileged position, I have to be vocal about this. Because of my ignorance, I didn't recognize it. Recognize it for all that it was while it was happening in my own life, but I do not want to ever benefit from others being pulled down again. I have not been I've not been perfect at navigating all of this throughout my career. I know this apology is a first step and doesn't absolve the past. I want to take accountability for my own missteps in all of this, as well as be a part of a world that uplifts and supports I care deeply about the well-being of people I love and have loved. I can do better and will do better. Now, at first glance, I'm like, well, it's a nice, like,
He's
step.
acknowledging all the points. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's never, and he did, it's a good apology in the way of, like, he's not being like, I understand this, but you've got to take into account that I was young as well, and I didn't know what's happening, and, like, my publicist was saying this. I like that he never makes an excuse. That's good. But there is a part of me that thinks, to what extent was this just written by a PR team?
100% written by a PR.
So I don't know. I want to believe that is him genuinely seeing the error of his way.
No, I think he's done it because, as he said in the first thing, I've seen the comments, I've seen the tags. He's only doing it.
This is true,
because the internet has gone, Justin Timberlake, we're now looking at you and all the terrible things you did 20 years ago.
This isn't the first time these comments have been made. Like, we talked about this when we did our Janet Jackson bit on one of the past podcasts. Go check it out, the award show one. And the thing is, people have been saying that, but now that there's this documentary come out and the news is talking about it, it's trending, it's all of this, now he wants to apologize. But people have been talking about it in the past. People have been talking about the way he treated Britney in the past. Why didn't he apologize then? Because
he clearly didn't, whatever he's calling his ignorance, and I'm putting this in air quotes, it's willful, and it wasn't, he didn't need to do it. Whereas now, to stay viable in the face of public backlash, he has to be like, hold my hands up, because his semi-apology to Janet Jackson, as we covered in the award show episode, was disgraceful. It was all like, I suppose men and women are treated differently, especially black women, because, like, racism. That's genuinely, I'm paraphrasing, but that's the vibe.
It wasn't much on that.
That was how many years ago? You just think, right, okay, so since then, you've had all this time, and it's only now because people are like, Britney Spears is having a terrible time. Look what you did to contribute to this terrible time. You were, he wasn't hounding her, but publicly, like, talking about her virginity and that they had sex, even though she was, in a way, to control it and as a way to, like, keep her sexuality for something for herself so that the media didn't tear it apart. He completely disregarded that when they broke up, and then had a weird thing where she was portrayed in, like, a lookalike in one of the Crimea River video. I think that's so pathetic.
Up until recently, he's still writing songs about this whole alleged breakup and their relationship. Yeah, up until quite recently. Yeah.
God, that's so
sad.
Their
breakup, whether it's this breakup he's sort of, like, made up in his head being more dramatic than it was, has, like, basically also added to his success by inspiring, supposedly, a lot of the songs.
Yeah.
And a lot of his creativity, so...
my blood was boiling when I was watching that.
Yeah, I want to watch it. I haven't watched it yet.
It's really good.
But there is a part of me that is like, I do want him to be able to change and do better.
Yeah.
I don't know how he would do it, but if there was a way for him to really help Britney and, I don't know, maybe he could... just really help Britney and Janet, I would absolutely love that. I don't know what he can do, and I don't know what would make me okay with him at the minute. Like, I don't know what would redeem him to me. There must be something, and I'm not saying he's completely irredeemable, because I think he is.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna see that from an apology that I reckon was vastly written by a PR team.
Nobody talks like that. So
I definitely don't think Justin Timberlake has the capability to write those sentences. Like, I'm not saying I think he's stupid, but I just think, like, I don't think he would write like that, you know?
No.
I don't think he would take time out of his day to write like that.
No.
But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he did. And also, I do see a lot of TikToks, you know, the ones where they're like people have worked in a restaurant and they've served these people, and there is quite a few that say that Justin Timberlake is not a nice person to serve.
Wouldn't surprise me.
No.
He just doesn't give me a good vibe. He's just generic white man.
Also apparently horrendous to serve. Anna Kendrick.
I have. Is it a TikTok of a girl who worked in Barney's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like, if you look to the comments, there's so many other people being like, yep, I've experienced the same thing. So,
that makes me. I just felt, why can't people just be nice people? Like, I don't understand
I mean,
it.
it's probably hard for me to comment on, but I just can't imagine ever being at a point where I think I'm so successful in my career that I
Yeah.
can just be rude to people. Doesn't sit right with me. Um,
But there is a silver lining in the Britney thing where
cool.
it's gone to court again, and her dad is no longer in charge of the financial
Yes, yes,
decisions,
yes,
which he
yes.
was for however many years now. What,
Yeah,
like over 10 years?
too
And that's
long.
terrible. And I'm so happy that she's getting the control. She's completely capable of making her own
Yeah,
decisions. There's nothing barring her from that in the way that the conservatorship is formed.
yeah,
And yeah, she has. I hope she finds peace. I hope she finds the peace and the
yeah,
privacy that she loves, and she has the money that she's made because she's
yeah,
worth, it's so many millions of dollars. I can't even
yeah.
picture it. And like, nobody should have that much money as a principal, we believe. But
Yeah. However, I think if
I
anyone's
don't
going to
think her
deserve
dad
it,
should have
no,
it.
her dad definitely shouldn't have it. But if anyone's going to deserve it, I mean, I think
Brittany.
probably people who've been to a Britney show
Yeah.
would. I haven't, but I think they're probably
Oh,
incredible.
absolutely. She was
And
sold out in Vegas for how, like, with her residency for so many years.
so I think if you see how hard she works and she
Yeah.
does the singing and dancing, which if you've ever tried to be like exercise and sing at the same time, it's impossible. I don't understand
Walking
how
and
anyone
talking's
does it.
hard enough.
Oh, I can't do it. I cannot do it. So I just think someone who works that hard and at the same time is going through trauma after trauma,
Yeah,
oh, she deserves the money.
she
I would
really
let
does.
her have the money. I would let her rule the country. Well, no, I wouldn't, but I would support her all the way, and I always have.
Absolutely.
I've got a couple of pop culture moments.
Ooh.
So we're gonna start with Kim Kardashian and Northwest
Oh, I
painting.
did see this.
So if you don't know, on Wednesday, Kim, proud mother that she is, paints doesn't paint. She didn't paint anything.
She
She
might have.
posts. Oh, she might have. She posts a painting that Northwest, a 7-year-old child, has supposedly done. Now I want you to at this point think back to the sort of artwork you were creating at 7 years old, because I know, like I was like my parents always were like, "Oh, you're so artsy, you're so good at art" to me when I was a child. And I genuinely believe this, but looking back at my artwork from the time, no, I wasn't. I was really bad. But
I
at the
used to draw.
time,
Did you used to draw people when, because you couldn't do fingers, so it was like stick fingers I used to do, and it looked like claws.
I would do like big sausage fingers. I think the one thing I would just draw mermaids over and over again, so I had a
Love
lot
it.
of drawings of mermaids, but no way had I even touched oil paints. It was purely pencil and maybe some crayons. So she posts this picture, and I know you've probably got an image in your head now of like, oh, a picture of 7-year-old son, so cute. But no, this was a beautiful oil painting of like a
Like a mountain
mountain.
and a lake.
Yeah, it was
Do you
beautiful.
know what I thought as soon as I saw it?
Bob Ross.
Bob Ross.
Yeah, it looks like a Bob Ross painting. So yes, it's viable that a lot of people could recreate this.
Yeah. She could have been sat down in front of Bob, and if I'd been introduced to Bob Ross as a kid, I would have loved him.
Yeah,
My brother
exactly.
loves him
So
now, and it's like,
calming and yeah,
yes,
I
such a
certainly
vibe.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
But then obviously everyone's reaction was she absolutely did not paint this, Kim. We don't believe you. And so I would say it was kind of jokey. So a lot of people were being like, congrats, but no, she didn't paint this. And stuff like that. It was kind of jokey. I think you could just take it on the chin. I
Yeah.
mean, if she knows that North's painted this, then she doesn't really need to convince anyone else because she knows that.
No,
Like,
exactly.
we
Yeah.
don't need to be
Why even
convinced.
post it, Kim? Why
Yeah.
even post it?
Yeah, like she was proud, but if people being like, no, she did not, like maybe do a jokey thing back. But no, her response was to just be absolutely fuming. And
Really?
oh yeah, this is the response. This was an Instagram story speech. Like it was just a black screen with the text coming down. Don't play with me when it comes to my children. 3 exclamation marks. My daughter and her best friend have been taking a serious oil painting class where their talent and creativity are being encouraged and nurtured. North worked incredibly hard on her painting, which took several weeks to complete. Which, to be fair, yeah, I mean, my mermaid drawings took about 10 minutes. As a proud mom, I wanted to share her work with everyone. I'm seeing op-ed pieces in the media and social media from grown adults breaking down whether or not my child actually painted this. How dare you see children doing awesome things and then try to accuse them of not being awesome? And then she's done like a bunch of exclamation marks and question marks. Please stop embarrassing yourselves with the negativity and allow every child to be great, and greats in capital letters. Northwest painted that, period. Now, the one thing that gets me is like, I don't think my mum would ever put Hannah Davis painted that, period. She'd just be like, Hannah painted that. I find it weird that she used Northwest's full name, but
it's the brand.
Okay.
She can't. It's like.
Now, yeah, to be fair, I do think Northwest is an absolute icon, and if any child was to have painted such a piece, it probably would be her. However, have you seen the clip of her at one of Kanye's like fashion shows? Like, it came out like maybe last year, and she's just going. She's got a microphone. I don't know why they had her do this, and she's just going, "What are those?" And Kim's crying watching it. I'm gonna share this clip because this really shows North's creative ability, and I just don't know that I can imagine her having created such a painting.
Was she doing it like Damn Daniel? No, it wasn't Damn Daniel.
One of those? Yeah, it is a Vine.
But that's so old.
I don't know if she was doing it that way. She just
older than her.
So these models are walking past her, and she's like part of Kanye's idea installation.
Heckling them.
And she's just going, "What are those? What are those?" And I agree. I don't think she knows of the meme because she wasn't alive, surely. But that's my number one.
Wow.
Do you know what?
Why did she respond like that? Can't she just have been like if she was such a proud mum, right? Yeah. She would have filmed North when she realised it was a masterpiece coming together. She would have got her little phone out and filmed her and been like a genius in the making. Where's the proof, Kim? We can't just be like, look at the finished product. Whereas what she could have done if North couldn't have been bothered, but the art tutor was so scared that they weren't going to get paid because the children who are 7 were like, "The fuck is an oil painting? Like, why would you let a child know oil paints? They're so hard to get off."
I got oil paint on my mum's car when I was like 16, and it's never come off. There's still a bit of blue oil paint over the car.
It's all in my what used to be my brother's old room. It's now my room. All on the floor. We were there scrubbing with turps for days. For days, my mother was there. Oh, God,
that must have smelled. Oh, I think I would have fainted.
It was fumes, fumigating. And it's like, right, that art teacher was either holding North's hand.
But like maybe she did like outlines for them, like, and even when you're at school and you're doing paintings and stuff and you're doing art, the teacher will come and help you out a bit occasionally, and they might, I don't know, mine never drew outlines, but they might. They do a bit and then you recreate that. So maybe she helped out. I'm not going to sit here and be like, North didn't do that, and that's a fact. I mean, when I first saw her, I thought, no way she did that, because it didn't look like a child had done it. She's 7. But if she did that, no, I'm not going to deny it. But the fact that Kim had that response.
Yeah, it's very defensive.
I think the people who were like saying stuff, I didn't see any that were like, there's no way North did. Well, I did, but they seem more jokey than anything.
Yeah,
she could have.
It's funny. It's funny.
Yeah, I feel like she could have just been like, trust me, North did it. And I'd be like, okay, yeah, maybe you'd be a bit defensive. But the whole, when someone's so overly defensive that it just makes you think even more, there's no way that North did that.
Yeah,
I got those vibes. Anyway, my next one is just like a quick update on Armie Hammer. I just felt like we needed to address the boy. So about a week ago, me and Holly, we recorded on a Saturday. So it was last Saturday. We recorded, we got to the end of the recording, and I was greeted by a news alert telling me that Armie Hammer had been dropped by his publicist and agent, which was interesting and led to a lot of people to think, something big is coming. And also, just bear in mind that we're talking about his agent and publicist, because they are going to be part of what we're talking about today, or they are linked to what we're talking about today. So people, because of this, were suspecting some big news to come out, because why would his publicist and agent drop him now and not when all of this went down like weeks ago?
Which was big. And his reaction to it was bad. And it's like he got dropped from things, and now to drop him now, something is happening.
Yeah. So at this point, there came out some knowledge about there is going to be an expose on Armie Hammer, and it was meant to come out on like Tuesday or something, and it's not come out yet. We're just waiting for the expose to come out, and supposedly there will be some big juicy news in it, whether it's that he's maybe done some big time criminal stuff or it's just some more allegations. I don't know, but it seems like it might be big. There were rumors that he was a murder suspect because for some reason he just went to work in construction for 6 months, and then
the pandemic.
Yeah, which is odd. And then 3 women were like missing in the area or something like that. I don't know.
Well, there 3 bodies of women who went missing were found 15 minutes away from the construction site.
That seems worse.
Which is why, and I was alerted to this news by Hannah when she sent me a Snapchat that just said, Armie Hammer is a murderer. I was like, listen, we knew it.
I might be misreporting. I think the police have come out. I think the police have come out and said he's not a murder suspect.
But they were talking to the Sun. So
I
don't really know about that.
And just an interesting little thing, like, I don't think it matters if he's done the murder or whatnot. His, like, the things that women have said about him are already bad enough for him to not be, like, working, considering he has not made any attempt to apologise.
Nope.
But basically a source told Page 6 this week that Armie Hammer is just chilling out in the Grand Caymans where he's been living and is just apparently, like, seemingly unfazed by everything that's going on.
Wow, serial killer.
So the source says, it's quite horrifying, to be honest. He walks up and down West Bay Road with no shirt or shoes, without a care in the world, always boisterous and obnoxious and full of himself. This man, who has been, like, big time cancelled, is losing roles, is, like, losing his career, losing his family. It's just walking around Grand Cayman topless with no shoes on. Confidently.
I am so scared. There's a picture that they always use for some reason. I don't know if it's the most recent picture of Armie Hammer, and he's got, like, he's very tanned, his hair's grown out, he's got, like, a linen shirt, but it's half unbuttoned so you can see his chest hair.
Yeah.
Terrifies me. It gives me Charles Manson, and I'm listening to a podcast about Charles Manson in a minute, and all I'm listening to, I'm like, Armie Hammer, but he's in. He's he's one of the inside. Like, this man is not well. If this is his reaction, and he's just wandering about, chill as can be, probably off his face.
Oh no.
Someone just grab him and put him in a box. Like, don't
I mean, genuinely, it just seemed like he needs help, but I would like him to get help, you know? I don't want this man to just progress into a serial killer if he's not one already.
That sounds like the way, if he's like, well, everyone thinks I've murdered people, so now's my time.
I mean, it's not a normal reaction to when everything is going wrong to you to just walk around really confidently. I think I would probably just cry in my bed and then, like, try and make amends with people, but no, apparently that's not what Armie's doing.